as well. Here's GM Dale Talon.
In memory of Luke Williams, the Florida Panthers are proud to select from the St. John Sea Dogs, Jonathan Huberdeau.
So what a year for Jonathan Huberdeau, who last year was sort of off the radar in a lot of ideas. All of a sudden this year bursts onto the scene, wins the Memorial Cup, is a dynamic, big-time player down the stretch for St. John.
The first hint that he was an elite-level player was in the playoffs a year ago this spring. He scored 11 goals in 21 games as a 16-year-old in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, but he had a very bad under-18 summer tournament. He was the 13th forward. He barely played. He didn't have a good camp. Once the season began, he started to skyrocket, Pierre, with that ability to score goals.
Well, he's just got a killer instinct with the puck. You'll get an idea of his killer instinct right now. When he has the puck on his stick, he's going to make a difference virtually all the time. Get it, finish it. He doesn't waste any time. He's got great speed, vision, lateral mobility. For Jonathan Huberdeau, he has all those great offensive instincts you want. And you think about the Florida Panthers right now. Last year, Nick Bjugstad, Quentin Howden. A year before that, Drew Shore out of the University of Denver. They're loading up on defense. Dmitry Kulikov, Goodbranson, as you said, Gord, Keaton Ellerby. This is a very good young team. And don't forget young Jakob Markstrom, the goaltender. Florida Panthers are putting themselves in a position to turn this non-playoff thing around pretty quick.
I will say this. We talked about Nugent Hopkins being if he could go either way for him to play in the National Hockey League next year. We firmly believe that Gabriel Landeskog will play in the NHL because he's physically ready. I believe it will be criminal if this kid plays the National Hockey League next year because he's physically immature. He needs another year in junior hockey. He needs another 15 pounds. He will seduce you in training camp with his skill, his composure, his ability to go in. He could probably go in NHL preseason games and score goals and make you believe he's ready to go. But this kid needs to put on 15 pounds, needs to get a lot stronger, and there'd be nothing wrong with him coming back for another year in St. John and being a big part of Canada's team at the World Juniors.
Well, Dale Talon has said publicly he is not going to rush these prospects, and of course the Panthers stripped things down, moved off most of their veteran players, but Talon is not in a hurry to rush these young players into the National Hockey League.
He doesn't have to be, but the biggest thing now, they've got a foundation upon which to build when you think about those young forwards. And here's the example of Jonathan Huberdeau and what he can do as a player. Won a Memorial Cup from Saint-Jérôme, Quebec, a suburb of Montreal. And you just watch this guy's killer instinct with the puck. He gets it, and there are taken no prisoners when he gets it. It's quick, it's hard, and it's precise. Everything he does around the net is spectacular. He's just got the vision, he's got the finish, and he's got the composure to make plays at key times, even making his teammates look better like he does right there. And here's this offensive instinct in terms of uncanny ability with the puck. He undresses the defenseman twice and then makes the goalie look bad. Jonathan Huberdeau is a superstar in the making because of his composure with the puck.
And if the Florida Panthers are looking for a good anthem singer to open the season when when Huberdeau does play, they can have his little sister, Josie Ann. She sang the home opener at the Sea Dogs home opener this year, and the season took off from there.
All right, Dale Talon, pretty good player from Quebec. Now the GM of the Panthers with James Duthie.
All right, thank you, Gord. Jonathan Huberdeau will join us in just a couple of minutes. Dale, you realize now it's 9 straight first-round picks as North Americans. You've never picked anyone outside North American in the first round. I know that's might be a bit of a statistical coincidence, but is it philosophy, or are you trying to build the same thing in Florida that you built in Chicago?
Well, definitely trying to do the same thing we did in Chicago, but that's a coincidence, really. If Huberdeau had been gone at 2, Landeskog was our next pick. So, it's just a matter of just coincidence, really. But we like character, we like people that really are passionate, and we like skill, obviously. And Jonathan fits all those. He's a real solid kid. He's a solid two-way player. He's unselfish, and he's just everything that you want in a hockey player.
You're in a situation where you have to spend money just to get to the cap floor. How active are you? Are teams trying to unload contracts on you?
We're like the waste management team right now. Everybody's trying to dump all their high salary players to us, but it's good. We're in a good situation. It was very painful to get to that position. We did a lot of tough things at the deadline, and now we have to reap the benefits of that, and we have to do the things that are right for our future long term. And we're going to be very active moving forward through this draft and next week on the 1st of July.
Gord mentioned the record 10 years without a playoff spot. How close do you think you are to ending that streak?
Well, hopefully it's this year. I went through this in Chicago 10 straight years too, and it's going to take some time, but I'm more confident with the drafts that we had last year and the drafts we're going to have this year, and if we can do some good things the next week or so, I think that we'll be a strong contender for a playoff spot.
All right, Dale, thanks for this.
My pleasure.
Dale
Thank
Tallon,
you.
general manager of the Florida Panthers. Jonathan Huberdeau becomes their first pick and the third overall in the NHL draft. I was mentioning Dale and how he loves North Americans. These are all his first picks, all from Canada and the U.S. as general manager of both the Chicago Blackhawks and now the Florida Panthers. 9 straight North Americans in the first round from Dale Tallon. And the most recent one is sitting beside me right now, Jonathan Huberdeau. Congratulations, Jonathan. You know, you weren't really in the conversation to be a top 10 pick at the beginning of the season with most of the scouts, and then you absolutely skyrocketed. How do you explain such a remarkable rise in your game this year?
I think that's what at the beginning of the season I didn't have any pressure, so I think that was good for me, like to show my game and get better every day. I think that's what I did this season, and I'm happy that what I accomplished from now. But I mean, no, it's a foot in the door, like I can say, and I'm gonna work hard to play in the NHL.
Truly remarkable season. You increased your point total by 70, the MVP of the Quebec Junior League playoffs, the MVP of the Memorial Cup. You've been on such a ride. Will you be disappointed if you're not playing in the NHL next year?
No, I think for sure I want to play in the NHL as fast as I can. But I mean, if I'm not playing, I won't be disappointed. For sure a little bit, but I mean, I'm gonna go help my junior team, and I'll be happy with that.
Listen, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Jonathan Huberdeau joins the NHL as a member of the Florida Panthers. I was mentioning this season, again, not on Bob McKenzie's ranking list of the top 15, really not even an honorable mention at the beginning of the season, and then he just went straight up from there, from 35 points last year to 105 this season, and then absolutely dominant in the playoffs, leading St. John to that Memorial Cup victory. Jonathan Huberdeau goes